Hey loves, I'm back with another video. This is one of my beautiful clients modeling a wig I'm about to show you guys. If you're interested in this look, keep watching. Okay guys, we're gonna jump right into the video. We're gonna need the same things as in our last video. Just your cap, your thread, your needle, shears, and a razor. And of course your hair. We're using hair from Blush Beauty Wigs again. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started and put my cap on my mannequin head and go ahead and place my closure down. It's pretty much repetitive, so I'm gonna kind of speed through a lot of this because I already did it in my last video. So yeah, I won't repeat anything, so we can just watch me. Now that I'm wrapping up the closure, again, it looks flat, exactly how you want it to look when doing a wig. Even though I'm doing a bang, I still want my closure to lay flat. I'm gonna go through and just track my unit. Again, same thing we already did, just go up. I use the same method. I'm really consistent with the wigs I make. I pretty much do every last one of them. My foundation the same, so that pretty much doesn't change unless I'm using a different amount of bundles. And you can see my stitching still, like I said, consistent, close together, very neat. No track slipping, exactly how you want your unit foundation to look. So we're gonna get into styling. You know I love to wet the hair down before I even start, and go ahead and give it a quick blow dry using my favorite Super Skinny, of course. Just running my hands all the way through it from roots to end, just making sure I'm getting that heat protected and shine all the way through. Okay, now we're gonna get into styling. You're gonna need my favorite flat iron, the Babyliss, the biggest one, your curling iron, of course, because I don't have my hot comb, the Chi Iron Guard, the Care wax stick, and I like to use this as well because it gives the hair a nice shine, and of course my scissors and razor, and a round brush, a heat resistant comb, and my favorite holding spray, camera. I'm just gonna go over again, like I said, everything that I do is very consistent when it comes to the beginning process of laying the closure down. I like to go in and just tap and make sure those little bends that come from the rubber band on the bundles are not present. I just like to go through and smooth them out, making sure that my install is going to look as flat as possible. You can see me go ahead and parting my closure out, about to start using the back of my curling iron just to flatten out my closure to make sure that it is laying completely flat. Now, when I do my bang wigs, I flatten the back part out more than the part that I'm going to cut. Reason being, I like it, the part that's like the bang part, to have a little bit of a lot of movement to it. Actually, I don't want it stiff, and sometimes when you go ahead and press it all the way down, it kind of minimizes that mobility with the hair. So I definitely kind of don't go as hard. I do it a little bit just to make sure that it's flat all the way around it, but I don't just go as hard as I do at the crown top of the crown part of the head to make sure it's super duper flat. Now here I'm just going to start sectioning out where I'm actually going to cut the bangs. Now this part is super duper important because with this wig you can actually take this specific closure off and put another one on, and it can be worn like as a side part or a middle part or whatever. So you definitely want to make sure you're only cutting the closure. And it kind of went a little fast, but I put the wig on. Of course, I use a wig cap underneath before I put another client's wig on, but I go ahead and cut out a little piece like where I want the bang to start, my starting point. And you can see on here, I kind of combed it and you can see where I started cutting when it was on my head. Now I do, when I especially doing my bang units, I try the wigs on and off as I'm cutting just to ensure that I'm getting the perfect cut and a precise cut. My bang style specifically, I don't like my bangs to be cut straight across, and you'll see as I'm cutting, I'm never really cutting anything straight across. I'm going back and forth between my razor, my scissors, and of course my thinning shears. I go back and forth between those just because I want that look to really flow and not be so heavy in the face. And you can see it when I showed y'all the video in the beginning of my client actually wearing the unit. It's not heavy at all, it moves. You can still see out your eyes. It's like the perfect, to me, razor cut bang. Now, I like to be honest with y'all. I don't really have a specific way that I cut this bang. I just make this wig all the time. So it's like I know what to do. And it look crazy right now. It look uneven right now. But the more and more you'll see me cutting and kind of perfecting it, will you start to see the shape that I'm creating with this bang. Yeah, like I said, there's no real technique behind it. It's 1,000 ways to cut a bang, and mine might be a little more difficult for some or whatever, but I like the results that this gives. So yeah, just, it's not really a specific like how to. I'm just kind of showing y'all the wigs that I make, especially because I can't touch any clients right now due to the quarantine. So this is pretty much all I've been doing my time is making wigs. So we're gonna start here and get into me actually doing clients later when we're allowed to reopen our salons. So yeah, so don't think it's crazy on how I'm doing this. It's just kind of my little way, and especially when you're doing stuff on a mannequin head, it looks completely different than what it looks like on your actual head. That's why I said I take it on and off just to kind of see where I'm at. On this video, you're not gonna see me doing it as much because of course it's edited out, but I do take this on and off a lot just to make sure I'm not cutting too much. And I start off longer on purpose just to give me a little room to kind of play with some stuff on here, to kind of just, you know, go back and point cut. As you can see, I'm pretty much, like I said, I don't cut straight across bluntly at all. I'm point cutting or razoring the whole thing just to kind of get those ends. When I bump it, get those ends like a flowy look, kind of fringy look, versus just being like that blunt old school Nicki Minaj bang, which I do still love that bang, but that's not the look we going for right here. Okay, so when I do this, I definitely check often how my bangs are laying. So I use a round brush. Sometimes I will flat iron kind of after the fact, but to me that round brush just give it that finish, that movement, that look that you're looking for. So I definitely recommend that you do get you a extremely large round brush. And I also use this round brush on silk outs and other body curl styles. So you just need one. It's a good investment period just to have. And you can see it's starting to form a little bit, and I'm gonna do a little bit more perfecting and cutting now that I kind of see where my bangs are laying, like how it would actually look if somebody was wearing it. And I'm gonna go in with my texturizing shears just to kind of blend out that line, that line that I've created, just to kind of give it a little, just to take a little bit of that weight out of it. Now you can kind of see that shape that I was talking about, and it looked good. I loved it. The Clark unit is hands down one of my favorite units and one of my best sellers. I can never keep these wigs on hand at all because as soon as I make one, instantly somebody gets it. It's a great look for fall, great look for summer, anytime when you just don't want no part or no hair out or involved. A bang wig is definitely a clutch wig to have in your wig collection. It is definitely essential. It's almost just as important as having a long middle part, straight, black. It goes. You need a bang wig in your wig collection. Okay, we're gonna get right into the styling. I'm of course using that flat iron that I showed y'all in the beginning, the Babyless flat iron, and I'm just going over it with my heat resistant comb using the chase method. And of course I spray that Chi iron guard in between just before I start pressing the hair out, and it just gives it that perfect shine and sheen and that movement that I'm looking for, especially when doing a bone straight. I love a good bone straight wig, honey. Yes. Okay, as I'm finishing up the look, I'm just going through it, doing those finishing touches on it. And I'm gonna go through the bang and kind of just, again, I'm still removing a little bit of weight, using my texturizing shears, just kind of going through it, tapping those ends, doing a little bit underneath, just to give it that real flow and bounce that I love in my bangs. Now this is what the hair looks like after it's been pressed. It looks really good, a lot of shine to it, a lot of lust. Love their virgin hair. Now again, I put the wig on just to make sure it looks good before I give it to my client. And as you can see, one side is a little heavier. So I'm gonna go back and kind of work with it as it's on my face and use my thinning shears and kind of take some of that weight out around the eyes. Like I said, this is a good trick and tip. Just make sure you put a cap on underneath. Of course, sanitation is key, but I just like to make sure for sure that the wig looks perfect before I pass it on to my client. So of course, I have to try it on to make sure it looks good. And here I am, I'm gonna just go over it again with my round brush just to make sure, like I said, after I did a little cutting, to make sure it's falling exactly how I want it to fall and looking how I want it to look. Okay, on here, this is how it looks. This is the finished look. This is how it looks on the mannequin head when I take my little pictures for content, and then I'll show y'all a video again of what it looked like on my client. I loved it. The bangs weren't too heavy. It looked perfect. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos coming soon. Bye.